I'll try to explain how the government works using a restaurant analogy. Imagine a politician takes you to a fancy restaurant and says, order whatever you want. It's on me. So you order a steak and caviar. He even orders stuff for you that you didn't even ask for. And he says, you're welcome. I did this just for you. Now, just out of curiosity, will you vote for me? And you say, yeah, of course. Just keep it coming with the free stuff. Then comes the waiter with the bill. But he gives it to you. You have to pay for the food. This is how the government works. They spend and you pay. Granted, they spend on things that you want. Parks, libraries, national defense, stimulus checks, social security. So how do you end up paying for it? Well, there's a little thing called taxes. What most people don't understand is that every dollar the government spends has to be repaid by us via taxes and inflation. Again, they spend and we pay. The way they get away with this is they try to blame the taxes and inflation on others. They say, oh, the rich people need to pay more taxes, or the greedy corporations should stop raising the prices. But the problem is the government spending. The politicians want you to think that they are giving you stuff for free out of the kindness of their hearts. The reality is they have nothing to give you. The government doesn't produce any goods or services, nothing. They can only spend. They spend, then they hand you the bill. So the $37 trillion of national debt, that's actually a problem. This number keeps growing bigger and bigger. The number is so high, it can seem abstract. People think it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, because who has to pay off the debt? We do, the American citizens. Again, taxes and inflation, or even tariffs. Theoretically, we could privatize most things. Take parks and libraries, for example. You could privatize those where you'd have to pay each time to use them. And you might be thinking, oh, hold on, why would I want to pay each time to use them when I can use them for free right now? But the thing is, you're paying for all the parks and libraries in your area, whether you go to them or not. This same basic idea applies to everything the government spends on. You and I, we're paying for it via taxes and inflation. If you privatize the parks, where you'd have to pay each time you use them, you can pay less in taxes. Then you get to choose which parks you want to go to, or maybe don't go to any at all. It would be your choice. When the government builds a park, for example, they have almost no incentive to make it cost efficient. If they're going to hire a builder and the estimate comes in at $5 million, they're not going to haggle with them. They're not going to try to bring it down to 4.5 million and make a deal. No. Matter of fact, you can imagine it might go the opposite way, where they say, let's make it 5.5 million. And, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. You know, some stuff like that is going on. If a private business is going to build a park, they're incentivized to make it cost efficient. And then they have to earn your business. They basically have to beg for you to go there. They have to make it attractive. And you get to choose. If you don't like the park, or you don't like the price, or both, you can choose to not go. Whereas the government, when they build a park, they don't care if you go or not. They just hire builders, they pay for stuff, then they tax you. In other words, whenever the government spends, they're really just reaching into your pocket and spending your money.